My current project is to produce a casebook, Racial Justice in Law. And the goal of that is to provide what students haven't had before, which is a resource that canvasses issues of racial justice across a variety of domains. One of the important goals of this casebook and of my teaching and writing otherwise is to broaden the focus beyond constitutional law. We're at an odd place because we have a widespread support for ideals of racial justice and colorblindness. Yet we still have a society that is very much structured along lines of race. We have gross disparities in criminal justice in terms of incarceration as well as victimization. We have substantial disparities in education in terms of college completion, in terms of income, in terms of health as well. And those are disparities that shape our society and that shape our psychology as well and how we interact. What's different now, though, is that even when people express what one might consider racist views, they're usually veiled. And that's a bad thing that those views are expressed, indirectly or covertly, but it actually is a sign of progress that people can't say openly things that a century ago or even half a century ago would have been a normal part of public debate. Relationships between the African American community on one hand and law enforcement officers on the other are fraught today in part because of the past. There's a long history of conflicts that have arisen at the intersection of race, crime, and law enforcement. And those historical conflicts inform people's views of current events, from criminal justice to education to employment to housing. These are areas where race is a central line of division, and there's a need to examine racial issues as a way of understanding more generally how legal institutions operate. In the decades since those landmark civil rights acts, I think many would agree that we haven't made the progress we would have expected. We are a society that is still beset by substantial racial segregation in housing, by racially segregated and unequal schools. Our society incarcerates more people than any other democratic nation in the world, and by a large margin. These are problems that affect not only particular groups, they're problems that really imperil the health of our democracy and the health of our society. And until we solve those problems, we will not be able to fulfill the ideals that prompted the founding of the nation. I think the faith that undergirds any academic institution is that ideas matter, that it's important to try to understand what's going on in society. It's important for lawyers and law professors to figure out how we can do things better, how we can better govern ourselves. So one way that scholarship can produce change is by producing ideas. Ideas alone often are not enough. In order for ideas to actually produce change in the world, in some cases, we need to put resources behind those ideas, to find ways to empower people to go out and enact some of those ideas in the world. Students need to understand that law is ultimately about solving problems. Legal rules don't exist apart from the society in which they develop. And they should understand that law is a tool. And it's a tool that we can use, and it's a tool that we can evaluate when others use it.